Hello, friends. Good afternoon. It's been some time before we have come back on a live session with all of you. Today, we are going to discuss on this topic called annual sales planning because this time of the year when all of you are entering into a new financial year, at this juncture, it's very important to plan your sales for the entire year because all of us know the old saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and I'm sure you don't want to plan to fail. So the question with which I want to start today's session is: are you ready with your annual sales planning for 2023 and 24? Now, some of you must be ready with your plan, and some of you might be tinkering with the plan. It is good that our plan should be ready on the 1st of April so that we get an entire 12 months to implement a plan which is meant for 12 months. More often than not, I find that a 12 months plan has to be implemented only in 11 months or 10 months because your planning is late by 1 month or 2 months. Okay, let's start on a fresh note. I'm sure that you'll find this topic interesting. Let us have a very quick synopsis. So, in this session, I'm trying to give you a perspective. This session is definitely not complete on the basis of which you can plan your sales for the entire year, but I'm just trying to throw in a perspective so that you understand what are the important elements of annual sales planning. Now, if you look at and if I simplify sales, for me, sales is equal to ETC plus NTC. And what do I mean by ETC and NTC? So ETC is equivalent to existing to company. So all the sales that I'm going to get from my existing customers, which I've carried forward from the last financial year to the current financial year, will come under ETC, right? Similarly, NTC stands for new to the company, and NTC is all that business that I'm going to acquire fresh for my company, which is new to company, and definitely NTC will come out of new leads, new acquisitions, right? Now, ETC plus NTC gives my entire sales for the year, and ETC is existing to the company, as I just told you. Now, let's quickly look at what comprises of ETC. Now, ETC business will come out of current sales, which is my existing customers, and also the cross selling and upselling that I do to my existing customers, right? So if there's any scope left for further cross selling to my existing customers or upselling to my existing customers, I do all that. I add it to my current sales and I call that my ETC sales. Fantastic. Now, what do I call my NTC sales? So NTC sales will come out of reference selling. Now, reference selling from whom? Reference selling from my earlier customers, from my existing customers, and new leads closure. Now, this is very important. What are the new leads that I'm able to close during this financial year will give me NTC business, new to the company business, right? So, if I just quickly recap, sales is equal to ETC plus NTC. ETC is existing to company, NTC is new to company, and ETC comprises of current sales plus cross selling plus upselling, and NTC comprises of reference selling plus new leads closure. Now, if it's very clear till this, now let's understand that the crux of my new business development will come out of my new lead generation engine, right? So NTC is reference selling plus lead generation. So reference selling, I'm sure all of you have planned for it. Lead generation engine. So the question that I want to ask you here is, what is your new lead generation engine? How does it look like? Now, if I have to choose between what to do and what not to do, so lead generation engine could comprise of cold calling, email marketing, telecalling, internet leads, bulk SMS, WhatsApp marketing, DMs, which is direct mailers, or BTL activities through which you can garner new leads. Now, this list that I'm showing you on the screen is not mutually exclusive. You can further add or delete from it. I'm just trying to give you a sense of how do you create a lead generation engine for yourself? Because there are a lot of us who are basking in the glory of past success, and we feel that we don't need to generate new leads because we have enough in our pipeline. Well, if Coke and Pepsi needs to generate leads and needs to acquire new customers, needs to advertise, then all of us need to think about new lead generation, because there is no well which is so deep that it can feed you with water for your entire life. So new lead generation is crux, and lead generation will come out of your lead generation engine. Now, what do you need to plan? So, first of all, you need to plan your entire ETC business, where you have to write down month wise, quarter wise, what is the ETC that you're going to get, which is existing, and what element of ETC will come out of cross selling and upselling. When you do that quarter wise, you will get into a strategy planning as to how exactly do you fulfill your quarterly goals. Now, at this juncture, we come to this very important topic called target setting and demand forecasting, or should be demand forecasting and target setting. Now, when you're planning for the year, you have to look at your quarterly demand forecasting, which could be seasonal depending on what product you sell, or which could be territory based, which could be manpower based. So, what is the demand that you want to satisfy quarter wise? And based on the demand that you're trying to fulfill quarter wise, what is the target allocation to each member of your sales team, whether internal or external? Have you done that? No? Okay. If not, then please do it. If you have done it, then please check it out whether you have apportioned it in amongst the members of the team that comprise of your sales team. Now, the moment you look at targets and demand, so demand is always huge, and when you look at the demand, you always come back with the conclusion that I don't have enough manpower to fulfill the demand. So, can I have more manpower? This is a very typical question that really comes up on the discussion table at the time of annual sales planning. And your boss would say that, yeah, take as many people as you want, as long as you can justify their existence, as long as you can justify their cost. Now, that's the game. What is your manpower planning strategy? How much do you want to bite? How much do you want to chew? What are the territories that you want to reach out to? Out of your existing manpower, are they enough to cater to the territories that you're already reaching? Do you have a list in your kitty where you have new territories, new market segments, new customer silos which you want to now attack in this financial year? Yes. So, do you need new manpower for that? Please go back to your discussion table and ask yourself these questions honestly. Number one, do I have enough manpower to cater to my existing business, which is ETC? Number two, do I have a list of unfulfilled territories, unfulfilled market segments, or unfulfilled customer personas, which I now want to attack in this financial year? Yes. If yes, then what are those territories? What are those segments? What are those silos? And what kind of manpower do you need? What is the number of manpower do you need? What is the type of manpower do you need? What would be their possible JDs, KRAs, and KPIs? And by when should they be on board? So, when should the manpower move in? When are you going to train them? By when will they be effective on the field? You see, there's a lot of discussion to be done with yourself under manpower planning. Once you've done it, fetch it out to your HR team and get their consonants. Right? So if you look at it, manpower planning is a combination of customer silo planning. So if you have been fulfilling 5 customer silos and in this financial year you want to fulfill 2 more, 7, so you will need more manpower for it, innit? For those of you who do not understand what is the customer silo, let me just give you an example. If you're a real estate seller, maybe medical fraternity. So professional doctors is a customer silo for you, right? Now you might say that professional doctors is a market segment for me. Well, customer silo is a subset of market segment. It fine tunes the exact user persona that we are talking about. Okay, so customer silo planning precedes manpower planning. Territory planning precedes manpower planning. And once you've done your silo planning, territory planning, market segment planning, that's the time when you arrive at your manpower planning, which is a combination of inside plus outside. Now, what is inside? Inside refers to those manpower who is going to be on the roll of your company, your employees. And outside manpower are typically agents, brokers, direct sales associates. So people who are going to work for you on a commission form outside manpower. Now you have reached a position where you did a ETC plus NTC planning. Once you've done your ETC plus NTC planning, we now spoke about the demand forecasting and target setting quarter-wise. Having done that, we are now talking about manpower planning, which is a combination of inside and outside, which will be preceded by customer silo planning and territory planning. Now, if you have reached this far, what do you have on your table? You have a table which gives you the demand per quarter and the targets per quarter broken down into the inside and outside manpower, right? Now, once you have done this, the next thing that you will need is to do is budget planning, right? You need to do budget planning because without budget, there's nothing that you can do. So you do a budget planning quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. Take consonants from your finance department. When you have done manpower planning, take consonants from your HR department. Once you have done budget planning, you need to submit to management the cash flow and fund flow statement. You see, you have to prepare a flow of cash and fund which will arrive at the working capital management. So you have to plan your working capital because if you promise to management that you're going to do an average sale of let's say 10 crore per month, and even if your management agrees that you're going to do an average sale of 10 crore per month, for example, you need a working capital of let's say 1 crore per month. So you have to tell to management that you need this working capital, isn't it? So after manpower planning, we spoke about budget, and as part of the budget, we are looking at working capital planning. Now, your finance department has to know how much working capital they should make available to you and your department so that you are able to achieve your targets, right? Now, very important here, my friends, is once you have done your demand forecasting and target setting planning, you must do a SKU wise supply chain management planning. See, very important, SKU wise supply chain management planning. Now, what do I mean by SKU? SKU stands for stock keeping unit. Now let's say you're in the business of soaps. I'm just giving an example. Now you have a 10-gram soap, you have a 50-gram soap, you have a 100-gram soap. Now each of these is an SKU. Now I have seen many a times people plan for their sales, but when they want to achieve the sale, the supply chain management fails because the factory is not geared up to supply and cater to your demand. And why? It can be as stupid as you have never intimated your production about your sales planning, and production is totally not aware of it. Production is doing production and planning control on their own tangent, and suddenly, when you need more goods, factory is not able to supply with that. Strange, isn't it? So you need to do a SKU-wise supply chain management planning, which this is a plan which needs to be co-created with your production department. Once you have done all this, you have to ask a question to yourself that no plan is foolproof, right? So for every plan, there has to be a plan B. There has to be a backup plan, right? So is your backup plan in place? Once your backup plan is in place, I'm sure as you move forward with your sales team, there are some marketing. You have to create a marketing plan. We always say that, we always say that you can create a sales plan and assume that market would be doing your market planning, and finally you end up without any market plan. Now, if you don't have a market plan, you're going to lose out on your brand outreach in the market, isn't it? So, if you are working in a company where you have a separate marketing department and sales department, fine. Your marketing department will create a marketing plan, but you will have to give them the inputs on the basis of which they create a marketing plan. Now, if you're working in a small and medium enterprise where you are the salesman, you're the marketing man, well, this is the time that you also need to create an annual marketing plan as to what are the various activities you're going to do, what are the sales promotion activities you're going to take up, what are the print media, electronic media, internet, digital media outreach program that you have, and what kind of money you need for each one of them. That creates your marketing plan. So you see, my friends, it is very important. It is very important for you to understand that, sorry, even if you have planned your annual sales, it is not just a function of creating targets for 12 months and not being able to achieve them, because there are so many other threads attached to your annual sales plan. I hope in this session I have been able to highlight some of those important threads which you must pick up as part of your annual sales planning. So much for this session today. I will be happy to answer your specific queries on your specific challenges related to annual sales planning. If you can post your queries in the questions below, post your queries. I'll be happy to respond to you within 24 hours on your respective queries. I wish you a great financial year ahead and happy selling for the new financial year. Take good care. Bye bye.